But basically what I'm saying is that, so I was so confused about, myself and what I was going through. Like, a lot of people lose their mind. Like, you can't, like, the more you hold things in, eventually you're going to lose it. Eventually you're going to lose your mind. And you know how they say, sometimes to find yourself, you have to lose yourself. And you have to lose yourself because you're holding so many secrets and so many things. And I went to a church one time, and it said a word that really touched my heart. We're sick because of our secrets, which is true. In the Christian life and community, God teaches us to tell our testimony. God teaches us that the things that happened to us didn't happen to us just because. God didn't torture us just to torture us, but he wanted us to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Why would he torture his own begotten son and we just live suffering free? Well, I mean, just painless? We wouldn't understand. That would not be fair. So we each suffer to relate to Jesus Christ. And in our pain, Jesus Christ is right next to us, holding us. And I know that it's hard to see him right now, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time eventually. But you have to be consistent in prayer. You have to consistently ask Jesus, Lord, I want to see you. I want to see your face. I want to see your holiness. I want to see your gloriness. He'll start by sending an angel to help you with an answer that you've been waiting for a long time. Or he'll just like do miraculous things that you may not have seen before. I mean, that really is what happened for me. And so just to share that part with you, just be consistent in your prayer and continue to seek God with all your heart and with all your mind, and read the Bible even if you don't understand the Bible. I mean, I started out not understanding it, but I was really, really hungry for God. Like, no other book could satisfy me, I swear. Like, every other book was talking about everything else, worldly things, boyfriends, girlfriends, this and this, just things that were not, anything, like they were not helping. But when I started reading the Bible, it was just like, I started out from the beginning, and in Africa, we used to read the Bible a lot. So I knew the story about Adam and Eve. I knew the story. So when I was reading it, I was just, reminding myself of the beginning, and etc., which makes it easier for me. But for new believers, it can be like they've been fed all these things, and now I thought they don't know Adam and Eve really, if Adam and Eve really existed, what's the science behind that, etc. But don't focus on all the stuff everyone told you. Trust me, don't. This book is really powerful, and I know that you want to start out with the New Testament if you're a new believer, because the Old Testament can be a little harsh, especially if you're the kind of person that feels like you're just a big sinner and you're just messed up and you did all these things. You don't want to be that person that you don't want to start off with that side. You want to kind of start off with the mercy of Jesus Christ, because that's better, and then get into the Old Testament and start really seeing the difference between before Jesus came and now, how God changed for us. And it wasn't that God is a mean person. It was like he was showing you a difference. This is without Christ and this is with me. Which I have to say, don't get it twisted, and don't forget that Jesus Christ was not just a man like you and I. He was God in flesh, and he is God in flesh. That's why he wasn't born to in sin, like in sexual sin with human beings. He was miracles are real. I mean, let me tell you, he was miraculously, conceived. And that way, he's separated from the human race completely. And he is God. And everything that happened with him. But miracles are real. In America, it's hard to tell that miracles are real because you have everything that you need. It's easier. It's like the land of milk and honey. You have milk. Everything is at hand. Even the poorest person is super rich. They don't even know it. They just don't know how to get to the resources. And that's all. And on my YouTube, on my other channels, like if you check on Instagram on my YouTube channel, you'll see I'm teaching, God used me to go to the homeless and teach the homeless how to shower and how to use the resources they have, because in places like in Africa, not just Africa, but other foreign countries, they don't have water like they have water water here on the beach. Like, oh my God, take advantage of what you have now, because you may not have it later, and you're gonna be like, why didn't I use it then? There's so many people that will take your place. I don't care if you're sleeping on the street. There is someone that would rather be sleeping on the American street than to be sleeping somewhere where there is dangerous animals and murderers every day, and there's not enough police officers and people to protect them. You know, a dog or anything can eat them anywhere. So that person would rather take, I mean, they could be getting murdered or slaved, and that person would rather take your homeless position in America than you know, than be where they are. So think again and be grateful for what you have. I'm not saying stay on the street. Get off the street. Be sober. I'm telling you, stop drinking. I mean, when you get, just for now, stop. You know, I mean, I'm not saying drinking is bad. Just drinking in moderation, everything in moderation. If you overdo it, and what you drink too, like if you drink heavy, if you're a spiritual person and a heavenly person, I don't think you should be drinking hard alcohol. I mean, if the spirit moves you, that's up to you, but I don't think you should. It's very dangerous. It's bad. It's like, I think wine is the best. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I think me personally, I don't like it, because it just, my spirit has been used. I used to drink a lot, and that was because I was allowing my emotions get to me, and I was not releasing my emotions, and I was looking for a new way to fly, and that's what we humans do. We were angels in the past, or whatever we were in the past, with wings, and we're just looking, if that's what we were, whatever, God, excuse me, but we're looking for new ways to fly. We're trying to be high again, to be feeling like, you know, confident. But, you know, confidence starts from within. Confidence starts with the mind. You can have the confident heart, yes, but you need to fix your mind. So no one can break your mind down. If someone breaks your mind down, they're gonna start with getting into your head to get to your heart. When they break your heart, it pulls everything down. You know what I mean? So the enemy looks for the weak-minded. If you're weak-minded, how are you going to fight against the enemy if you yourself can't even be sober? How are you going to recognize the enemy? Because when you're sober, you're so happy and jolly. You give all your money and everything. You do anything for anyone. When you're drunk and high, you know, you're not thinking right. You just pour. Trust me, I'm telling you this because I was like that. I'm such an open-hearted person that when I drink, I just give everything. And then later on, when I'm sober, I'm like, what did I just do? Now I don't even have any more money. Now I don't even have any more of this. You know, that's probably why my ass is broke now. I'm sorry. But I'm here for a reason. But I'm just saying, like, you just overgive, and you gotta be careful. Think about yourself. These tools that God gave you, if you don't use them, you're gonna abuse them. If you abuse them, what use or what good are you to God and to the world if you're all messed up? They're gonna eliminate you. Why? Because you're not making a use of yourself. I pray that they don't. But hey, come on. Even the birds are at work. Frogs are at work. Get to work. You know what I mean? And I know it hurts, but you gotta man up. Or you got a woman, even if you're a woman, man up. You just get strong. Believe in yourself. Be like, I can do this. I can do this. One positive thought will change your entire life. I swear it will. It changed my life. I went through the things that I went through so I can be humble. So I won't think I'm highly. God was shaping me. So he will be sure that I don't think I'm higher or better than anyone. So this ministry would happen because I didn't come on this earth for myself. I came on this earth for God, for you guys. You guys came on this earth for me. We're here for each other, and alone we're here for God. God loves even the worst person in the world. So we can't judge. It's easy to judge, but we have to look inside of our hearts and say, God, take the judgmental thoughts. Even me. I mean, I've been so abused, so hurt, that I'm so cautious with myself. I mean, I don't even want to dress up. Like right now when I'm doing the work that I'm doing, I would love to dress up, but I don't even want to be dressing up in heels. First of all, I'm a dancer. I have no business wearing, I mean, I don't want to be walking down the street with heels. It's going to attract people. It's not that I don't want people to be attracted, but it's the time. It's not the time for me to be talking to people right now. It's the time for me to be building my network. So because I know that I'm a very attractive person and my energy is like, it glooms, and people everywhere are always looking at me. Even when I look like I dress up, but then when I look like this, I'll be like, let me not dress up then, because if everyone's looking at me. But people will still look at me even when I'm dressed down. People are always, it's not me, it's the Spirit of God that they're looking at. They probably can't even tap into what they're looking at. They're like, what is that? What is that I feel when I'm around her? Or that I feel when I feel something. They feel something when they come around me. And that's the Spirit of God. It's not me, it's the Spirit of God. I hate it. I say, God, please teach me how to love it. Get the hate out of my heart. Because people get so close to me sometimes that, I've been abused, and I just don't want no one to touch me in any way. And it's just kind of like a gibbery kind of thing that I get. And I'm asking God to help me be comfortable in my body. And I know how you feel. I know how it feels to not want to be touched or to not trust when you've been abused. I was in a shelter and I heard so many different stories from so many broken women, and I was just like, it just took my attention off of myself. It gave me a purpose. And this girl was raped by her father and finger fucked, excuse my language, in a bathtub when she was a little girl. I broke down in tears. She's a Leo like me. I'm not saying that Leos are the only ones out there getting raped, but people with a lot of high energy, they're like a target. I'm not saying that they're the only ones, but they really are like a target. They walk around and they're noticed everywhere, and someone's always looking to snatch them. But don't be afraid. All of you, no one be afraid. Have faith. Pray. Don't be afraid to go outside. If you're afraid to go outside, if you're afraid to face a homeless situation, if you're afraid, well, God is going to break it's going to force you to face it if that's what your fear is, because God wants you to face your fears. God wants to break every fear and every wall in your heart so that when you walk in any situation, you stand with faith and you tell that situation, I am better and I am stronger than you, and you will not break me down, and I'm just passing here. This is not home. I'm on my way home. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. A homeless situation is a lesson that you need to learn. It's not permanent. You make it permanent by not getting up and asking God to help you learn from that situation, by not observing. It's not easy to observe on your own. You need God's help to help you observe. If you don't ask God to help you, you're going to sit there and rot there. But if you ask God to open your eyes to help you see what the lesson is, what are you trying to tell me here? Why am I not getting up? I even asked God that same question. God, why do I feel comfortable here? I don't want to feel comfortable here. This is not the place for me to feel comfortable. I know this is not the place for me to be. I know, and I'm ready to be gone. And you know what? Being here, I learned consistency. Being in a homeless situation, I learned to be consistent in prayer, which I always have been, but someone had snatched that away from me because I was really good at it. So for a second I stopped, because every time I prayed, miracles happened. Every time I prayed for Martha, who was my mother. I prayed for her, and she would get dollars and money and all these things, and she would be like, "Whoa, you're a prayer warrior," and I'm like, "Really? Thank you." But I was so good at praying for others, but I failed to pray for myself anymore because I didn't want to stand out, because I was tired of being attacked. The more I stood up, the more people were pushing weapons and trying to fight me and beat me up. I was living in an apartment complex with roommates that would make fun of me. And I had bumps and pimples all over my face, and they would take pictures just to send pictures to each other just so they can laugh at me. Now I think about it, it's because I'm a star. Now that I think about it, that's just publicity. It's just God's way. It's their way of saying, "Oh, we can't get past you. We love you, but we don't know how to say it without, hating on you, girl." You know what I'm saying? Come on. You taking a picture. There's something that you like about me. You staring at me that hard and you telling me I'm ugly? Then why are you looking? Why are you here? Why are you drawn to me? I don't care if it's in a negative way or if it's in a positive way, but especially if it's a negative way, there is something positive that you see about me that you want. And that's why you're here. See, when I pass someone and I can already sense I'm not gonna like them. I'm not gonna get into someone's face that I don't like. Why? I'm not interested. So think, when you get attacked by people, there is something they're trying to get out of you. It is God's way of challenging you. He has a way of